Hi everyone, this is Rajkumar D, Assistant Professor from Department of Information Technology, Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about textured surfaces and gradients under the subject Information Visualization. What is a texture? Visual patterns, it is going to be the repetitive elements on surfaces, so which is going to provide a certain pattern, that is the visual pattern, and how surfaces appear visually, that is going to be your perceptual property. So you can just imagine all those rough surfaces. And next one, the informational sources, it is going to discuss about the, or it is going to communicate about the properties of the that particular surface. So this is what texture is all about. So there will be several textured surface. You can just visualize how a texture will look like based upon a cloth or based upon a paper or based upon a painting. Components of texture. First one is size. The dimension of texture elements is very important. That is the size. Sometimes it is called as texels. Next one is the spacing. It is the distance between the texture element. The spacing can be more, or the space can be reduced based upon their space distance. The appearance will be different. And next one is the orientation. That is the what kind of elements we are going to use it for texture based upon its sizes, based upon its shapes. Okay, so different direction arrangements of elements can be implemented based upon different orientations. What are texture gradients? So it is going to be the systematic changes in texture properties across surface, which will be helping us to create a strong depth in perception. So you can just visualize the image where the background image of this building, uh, by employing different textures, we can make sure that that image is also very much clearly we can see based upon textures. So it is the element appears smaller as they recede, and as the space is decreasing with the distance. So it is going to provide a very powerful cue. So in-depth visuals can be made using providing different textures, even though it is in longer distance. As the depth cue, what is going to be the texture gradient? So again, it is going to be termed as textures, and again your spacing between the texture, the distance, which is going to be very important, and what kind of elements or what kind of shapes we are going to use. That is also is very important. That is what we call as orientations. What is how it is implemented? Two types of things can be done. Either we can implement scientific visualization, or we can use information visualization. So what is scientification visualization is it visualize physical phenomena, for example molecular structures, different simulations like aircraft simulation, a pilot training simulation, or a firefighting techniques what we are going to use. And very important and prominent is climate data. Suppose here we have different cyclones, and in other countries we call it as the typhoons. In sometimes it is called as um, different names. Okay, so based upon the existing data, historical data, based upon its occurrence and based upon its movement and its nature, we can analyze lot of historical data, or those are occurred previously, and based upon that we can predict how this time it is going to happen. This is done widely in climate conditions data. Next comes the information visualization, where it is going to structure abstract data, that is in the form of networks, in the form of knowledge graphs, and sometimes hierarchies. So all these two types of visualization is possible, so which will be helping us to discover the relationship in complex systems, and it also helps us to frame hypotheses and test those hypotheses, and either we can either validate, or we can just say the hypothesis is not confirmed. And it also facilitates advanced analytical exploration, where we are able to detect, or we are going to predict certain occurrences based upon historical data with the help of visualization process. The next one is the color theory. So in visualization, entire visualization process, this is going to be very important. So we are having this color harmony, where we have to use many colors. So this has to be used in within a harmonical structure to provide complementary analogies, and it should provide a triadiac scheme. Next one is the contrast ratios. In what ratios we should use the color. We have one guidelines called WCAG, that is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So which is going to provide 4 is to 5 is to 1 to be for normal, and the 3 is to 1 for the larger text. Next one is the color blindness. As you all know, 8% of the entire population in male and 0.5% in female. The entire global population is affected by color blindness. So they will not be having a capability to differentiate colors. So this also we need to take into account whenever providing visualizations. So we have to use either sequential or categorical palettes, which will be helping us to display the sequential data or categorical data. So if this kind of data is available, it is always better to go for palettes. Next one is the color progression should also match the data progression. For example, if we are going to provide some rainfall data, so we'll be having like orange alert, then we'll be having yellow alert, and we'll be having red alert. Okay, so this is based upon the color progression. So very high rainfall, we can use it as in strong red. A mild, the intensity can be reduced, or the contrast can be reduced to display orange alert. And same thing, it can be decreased to provide an yellow alert. So this is going to be a same color shown in different shades. So this provides the progression, the steep increase of rainfall. So like this, we can use different color progression techniques to display the seriousness of the issue, or the growth issue, or increasing issue. So we can use all these techniques in visualization process. Next one is the systematic process that transforms. This is the definition for visualization. And with the visualization pipeline, we will be using generation, then collection of data, processing of data, storage in data lake or data warehouses, then managing those data to ensure quality and accessibility. Then we will be taking into analysis. After analysis, we are going for visualization process. And next, after visualization, the decision making, that is the these visualization rendering images or presentations. Okay, so those will be discussed, and it will be interpreted for making decisions. What are all the key takeaways of this session? So we should always make sure that the visualization leverages human cognition for rapid comprehension, and several data principles should be used so that we ensure clarity, accuracy, and accessibility. That is very, very important, because correct visualization leads to correct decisions. Likewise, incorrect decisions, definitely it will be taking to wrong decisions only. So we have to be very careful, and we have to use multiple visualization types to serve as different analytical process. We should not use the same kind of images or same kind of techniques. And very, very important is color theory and cognitive psychology. So in the form of effective designs, if we are able to provide visualization, then it will be highly effective. And visualization is definitely essential for modern driven decision making, where now we totally rely on a single type of information, that is dashboards. So everywhere now dashboards are used. So in a single look, we can just gain information about everything. That is what the decision making authority or stakeholders or the managers or decision making authorities need. So they want informations to be given in a short and crisp way manner, but all things has to be discussed. So a very short definition, visualization transforms the complexity into clarity and data into understanding. So this is one of the very short and crisp definition for visualization. I hope this session is very useful for you. Let us meet in the next session.